Cupid and Psyche is a story about love. It is also about beauty, truth, and goodness, for these are the three aspects of love. And it is about death, the hereafter and rebirth. Its simplicity touches our hearts and at the same time tantalizes our minds with hints of teachings that youth experience during the higher degrees of initiation. It deals about human consciousness, with its falls from high, its captivity in realms of material illusion, its age-long wanderings, and its metamorphosis as it awakens and recollects with increasing clarity its divine origin and nature. Hence love endeavours to rise, as a butterfly freed from its chrysalis, into higher dimensions where it lives along the immortals. Cupid and Psyche is indeed a story of love, a love with transcendent power to raise the soul to divine awareness. As such, this is a love story to be cherished during those dark and silent moments that sanctify our lives. This is the beautiful story of Cupid and Psyche. Olympus was the resident of the divine family, the 12 most important ruling gods and goddesses of ancient Greece, who therefore were called the Olympians. There they all lived together in an enormous palace high above the clouds. Mount Olympus is known as some mysterious region far above the earth. It is within where the gods lived and slept and held court. Here they conversed of the affairs of heaven and earth. In its great halls they feasted on ambrosia and nectar and were entertained by Apollo's lair, the Graces and the Muses. Such is a peaceful and serene place, a perfect abode for the gods and goddesses, until such.
O great goddess of love and beauty, it seems this golden egg is about to hatch.
I believe so. Come, dearly sisters and goddesses, let's give him all our blessings.
Welcome to Olympus. You will be named Cupid. You will be the bearer of love and happiness from Olympus to the whole world.
Cupid is a winged child, armed with bow and arrows. He shot the arrows of desire into the bosoms of both gods and men, causing them to fall deeply in love. Cupid has always played a role in the celebrations of love and lovers. He was every god and goddess's favourite in spite of being mischievous. He was Aphrodite's constant companion, sometimes helping his mother to make her look beautiful. Cupid often holds the mirror for Aphrodite. They appear close to each other, just like any mother with her child. Both never thought that a tragedy awaits in their relationship. On the other side, in the island of Crete, in the land of Greece, a king and queen were totally endowed with extreme abundance and prosperity. Their kingdom was blessed with temperate climate. It has short and mild winters and dry, warm summers, along with the fertility of its plains. It is believed to be the home of the gods on earth. Added to the beauty of the land is the beauty of the 3 daughters of the king, but the youngest surmounted all the beauty. She has beauty beyond description. It is said that her birth and existence has an intervention and will of all the goddesses.
Winter is over, spring is in the air. Demeter has robed the earth in the gorgeous colors of rebirth. All because her lovely daughter Persephone has made for her yearly return from the underworld. But Demeter is not the only one with a lovely daughter. In fact, I have 3 myself. Now hear me, my nobleman. These princesses are full-grounded. I will now allow worldly citizens to come courting from their fair hands.
And more gorgeous maidens you never see. Why, I think my daughters are at least as pretty as Demeter's darling. In fact, my youngest Psyche, well, she's more beautiful than even the goddess Aphrodite herself.
Mother, don't say such thing. It is not true, and you will offend the gods of such looks.
It's certainly not true, but I'm the most beautiful woman in the world.
Behave, you shave us our head.
The singular passing beauty and maidenly majesty of the youngest daughter did so far surmount and excel them too, as no earthly creature could by any means sufficiently express or set out the same. By reason whereof, after the fame of this excellent maiden was spread in every part of the city, the citizens and strangers there, being inwardly pricked by zealous affection to behold her, they came daily, by thousands, hundreds, and scores, to her father's palace.
Great King, I will take good care of your little sugar plum Psyche. Certainly, I am the most eligible suitor, since I am the wealthiest. Yes, my little sweet peach, with your lips as luscious as grapes, you are indeed the apple of my eye.
Well, Bacchus, if eating your way to romance was possible, you'll be the victor, because you are the biggest glutton around. But I believe the Lady Psyche will prefer a gentleman of charm and elegance, like myself, over some pot of.
Psyche doesn't need a fancy like you for a husband either, Creon. She needs a real man, a soldier like me who can defend her honor and beauty.
I must admit that you're strong like an ox, Draco. Unfortunately, you're as dumb as an ox too.
You lousy swine, I ought to split your overstuffed belly open, as well as chop off the head of this wimp Creon.
Oh man, I can stand the sight of blood.
Just try it, you winless. Guards!
Enough of this fighting, my nobleman. Quit starting around like a bunch of a peacock.
Oh, I like how Draco struts.
Listen, all of you are worthy citizens, but I will not pick any one of you. But instead, the next harvest time, I will go to the temple of Apollo and let Apollo choose my husband. That decision will be the will of gods of Olympus.
You are wise as you are, gorgeous dear princess.
Shall we continue with the feast, my king?
By all means, more food and drinks.
Did someone say food? Ah yes, 3 large cluster of grapes for me.
Aphrodite found her altars deserted, while men turned their devotion to this young virgin. As she passed along, the people sang her praises, and strewed her with chaplets and flowers.
Behold the parents of this young lady. Behold the Lady Aphrodite, renowned throughout all the world, with whom a mortal maiden now partaker of my honor. My name is registered in the city of heaven, is profaned and made real by tyrant absurdities. If I shall suffer any mortal creature to present my majesty on earth, or that shall hear any false service of my person. But she, whatsoever, she be that hath deserved my honor, shall shortly repent her unlawful estate.
At Mount Olympus, the once angel-like Cupid had rapidly grown to become a winged man. Yet, he is still so busy striking his golden arrow. Aphrodite asked his son Cupid to visit Psyche and pierce the usurper with his arrow, so to burn with a foolish promiscuous love for any beast entering her vision's path.
I have been insulted by a group of human. The queen of Phrygia has claimed that her daughter Psyche is more beautiful than me. Furthermore, the people of that kingdom seem to agree. They no longer bring offerings to my temple and take their gifts to Psyche instead.
Calm down, mother.
I ask that Psyche visits Apollo's temple to find out about a husband, that Apollo tell her she must be given as a bride to a terrifying creature. I don't care what the things looks like, just as long as it's something that even the gods will fear.
I will, my dearest mother. There is no wish I cannot follow you. I will do it for you.
So, she's the mere mortal who offended my beloved mother. What beauty does she have? Why men honored and disregard my mother?
With the quiver of arrows and delicate bow, Cupid sought out Psyche, but on seeing her, all of his and his mother's plans fell apart.
Oh, she's so perfect and pure. A real beauty, so bliss and awesome.
He was so stunned and drawn in by Psyche's raw beauty that his enchanted arrows fell from his grasp.
You will be my queen, and no other mortals will fall in love with you. You will be mine forever.
On piercing his own foot, and so Cupid was poisoned by his own magic. He fell deeply and passionately in love with the young mortal woman. He swore that no other man or god should have Psyche but he, and he wished Psyche were immortal so that she might live as long as he. The curse had started. While everyone worshipped and admired Psyche, her beauty was so awesome that men were fearful to express their longing and desire for her or make plain their sentiments. Both her sisters, though less lovely than Psyche, had gotten married, so Psyche sat sad and solitary, only to be admired but not loved. This bothered her parents. They began to suspect some curse had fallen on their youngest daughter.
My daughter, what's bothering you? If I could be a help, tell me. Your father's here to listen.
Father, I just wonder why I never fall in love at all. Why people admire me and never love at all. Is this the punishment of having such beauty?
My dearest, is not tomorrow before the day breaks we will journey to town. We will consult and ask the advice of the oracle of Apollo. Now go, give a rest to your beauty.
O noble prince of Apollo, we seek answer for two questions. First, what we must done to end this terrible drought? And second, who should my daughter Princess Psyche marry?
There is one answer to both questions. The drought will end as soon as Psyche is married. No mortal man would be Psyche's husband. Instead, she must be dressed in the deepest mourning and placed on the summit of a mountain to be taken away by a winged serpent, stronger than God themselves. To make his wife, Psyche must be left on this mountain top.
Misery came as a lamentable news was told. They dressed Psyche up as though she was to attend her own funeral and walked with her to the top of the hill. Though her parents wept grievously, she kept her courage and said she was glad the time had come. They went in, despairing grief, leaving her helpless on the top of the mountain, and returned to the palace and mourned all their days for her. Through all her mourning, she ends up into a deep sleep. Suddenly, a warm breath of wind caressed her, and she felt herself being lifted up and away, until she came down upon a soft meadow with flowers so fragrant. She had forgotten all of her fears here and fallen asleep. As she woke, beside a bright river, and on its bank was a stately mansion that was fit for the gods themselves.
I hope you enjoy the gifts my invisible servants have left for you, Psyche.
Who are you?
I am your husband.
I can see you, but you have a kind voice.
I am kind indeed and love you dearly. Psyche, however, you're not allowed to look at me. If you trust me, we will know happiness.
But I'm not sure, but I do trust you. Please, I beg you. Please let me see your face, so I might know who you are.
Do you not know me by my touch? My voice? Why should you wish to behold me? Have you any doubt of my love? Have you any wish ungratified? If you saw me, perhaps you would fear me. Perhaps adore me. But all I ask of you is to love me. I would rather you would love me as an equal than adore me as a god.
But I must see you.
It is best. You do not never ask me again, dearest or I shall here to leave you.
She had not yet seen her destined husband. He came only in the hours of darkness and fled before the dawn of the morning. But his accents were full of love and inspired a like passion in her. She often begged him to stay and let her behold him, but he would not consent. On the contrary, he charged her to make no attempt to see him, for it was his pleasure. For the best of reasons, he kept concealed.
Please, I beg you. Please allow me to see my sisters. At least, they will know that I'm alive.
I will warn you, their presence will lead to your downfall, and will crush our love. It will give you imminent peril and danger. They will give you great sorrow, and will lay yourself with destruction. Listen and obey my commands, or you will lose me forever.
I do obey you, my dear husband.
After that he was departed, and the night passed away. Psyche lamented and cried all the day following, thinking that now she was past all hope of comfort, in that she was closed within the walls of a prison, deprived from human conversation, and commanded not to aid or assist her sorrowful sisters, no, nor once to see them. Thus she passed all the day in weeping. She was mad, totally mad. She felt as if she was just a servant, prisoner, deprived of everything.
Is it that you perform your promise, my sweet wife? What do I find here? Pass you all the day and night in weeping, and I will not cease in your husband's arms. Go to do what you will. Purchase your own destruction, and when you find it so, then remember my words, and repent but too late.
If you not consent my will, if you not grant me to see my sisters and talk to them and comfort them, this life would be useless. Then I should die.
Your wish is granted, but beware that you should not be moved by the pernicious counsel of your sisters to see the shape of my person, lest by your curiosity you be deprived of so great and worthy estate.
Sweet husband, I should rather die than to be separate from you. For whosoever you be, I love and thank you within my heart. But if you grant me likewise, you will command your servant Zephyrus to bring my sisters in the valley, as I was brought here.
Oh no, you've broken my fingernail. That's all you can think of. It's been several months since our sister was left up here as the prayer for some lots of it. The least you could do is come up here to leave flowers in memory of her. My sister! Oh, it's right! This is marvelous! We thought you were dead, devoured by the horrible monster who was to be your husband. Well, you can see me, I'm not dead, and my husband's not a dreadful monster either. He's wonderful. What is he like? He brings me every day gorgeous clothes, delicious food, and jewelry. But what does he look like? Well,
Oh, Sai, don't tell me you'd never seen him.
Well, no, I haven't. He doesn't allow me in the light.
Oh, he's probably too ashamed for you to see him. I bet he's a disgusting monster with dozen snakes and built tiny traps.
No! His boys are too much like humans. He can be an ugly monster. Then, there's something wrong. Some friends, probably a cannibal. He's giving you nice food so that he'll be tasty when he batters you and cooks you up. Here, take this knife. That's true.
After you kill him, you can return home. And if you're not back in a week, we'll send flowers because we'll know you were making no monsters.
Psyche, do what I know and kill this little creature tonight.
Psyche filled their laps with gold, silver, and jewels, and walked away. As they took their ways homeward to their own houses, they murmured with envy, and they bare hatred and jealousy against Psyche.
My husband was wonderful, but now, I'm not sure. Could there really some be sinister monster?
Soon after, her husband came, and when he had embraced her, he fell asleep. Then Psyche received boldness, and brought forth the lamp and took the knife. So by far her audacity she changed her kind. But when she took the lamp and came to the bedside, Psyche saw a glorious body. She greatly feared, and all trembling she fell on her knees. It was Cupid, the very god of love. At the bed's feet lay his bow, quiver, and arrows, the very weapons of so great a god. Psyche curiously held and marvelled at the weapons of her husband. She took one of the arrows out of the quiver, and pricked herself withal, wherewith she was so grievously wounded that the blood flowed, and thereby of her own accord she had added love upon love. Then more and more broiling in the love of Cupid, she embraced him, fearing the measure of his sleep. But while she was in this great joy, there fell out a drop of burning oil from the lamp upon the right shoulder of the god.
O foolish Psyche, it is thus you repay my love. After having disobeyed my mother's command and made you my wife, will you think me a monster and cut off my head? But go, return to your sisters, whose advice you to seem to think favorable to mine. I inflict no other punishment on you than to leave you forever. Love cannot dwell with suspicion. Psyche, I love you so much. I married you and disobeyed even my mother Aphrodite. It is forbidden that gods marry humans. That's why I came only in the darkness. But you have not trusted me. Have you come to burn me with hot oil, and to slay me with a knife? My dear, where there is no trust, there can be no love.
Cupid, wait! I didn't mean to hurt you. My hand trembled when I saw you. Why did I ever doubt him?
So saying, he fled away, leaving poor Psyche prostrate on the ground, filling the place with mournful lamentations. She found herself in an open field not far from the city where her sisters dwell. There she met her sisters.
Oh, what happened to you, sir dear? Are you being a ghost for me?
You look so messy and devastated. Does it mean you already seen your horrible husband? How does he look?
Nevertheless, ugly, slimy, wicked creature.
You're wrong! You are wrong! Why did I listen to you? It's you! Both of you told me such a lie! I was wrong! With the way you act, you seem to fall in love with handsome.
Oh my. Those words are from Apollo, we just remind you then. And you
He's-
have to be thankful to us for such concern.
He is not a such monster. He is a god. He is Aphrodite's son. He is Cupid, and I truly love him.
Oh, Cupid.
Oh, Cupid, where are you? Please make me to be your mistress.
And why you? It should be me, Cupid. I'm more prettier than Psyche. Take me with you.
My daughter Psyche, you are alive. Oh, great God.
Mother,
Enough, come.
My dearest daughter, I'm so happy for your return. It calls for a banquet. Apollo's prophecy is not true.
Father, Mother, there's no way that I would stay. I need to go. I need to see my husband.
Husband?
Yes, my parents. I'm married not to any horrible monster.
I married the god of love, Cupid.
Huh?
I need to go. I'll be back when things were over.
She married a god.
Oh, what happened in here?
Psyche wandered day and night, without food or rest, in search of her husband. She cast her eyes on a lofty mountain, having on its brow a magnificent temple. She had sooner entered the temple when she saw heaps of corn. The holy Demeter, whose temple it was, finding her so religiously employed, then spoke to her.
O Psyche, truly worthy of our pity, though I cannot shield you from the frowns of Aphrodite, yet I can teach you how allay her displeasure. Go then, voluntarily yourself and sovereign, and try by modesty and submission to win her forgiveness, and perhaps her favor will restore you the husband you have lost.
Psyche obeyed the commands of Demeter and took her way to the temple of Aphrodite, endeavoring to fortify her mind on what she should say and how best to please the angry goddess, feeling that the issue was doubtful and perhaps fatal.
Most undutiful and faithless of servants, do you at last remember that you really have a mistress? Or have you rather come to see your sick husband yet laid up of the wound given by his loving wife? You are so ill-favored and disagreeable that the only way you can merit your lover must be by dint in industry and diligence. I will make trial of your housewifery.
Goddess of love, Aphrodite, I beg you.
Psyche, you caused people to neglect my temple. Then you stole my son to be your husband. Now, you burned Cupid's shoulder. After all this, you expect my help?
Please, Aphrodite, I beg your aid. Please talk to Cupid for me.
Well, since I am obliged to hear the prayers of those who appeal in the name of love, I will speak to Cupid. But first, I know very well it is by none of your doing that you have succeeded this task. I am not yet satisfied that you have any capacity to make yourself useful, but I have another trial for you. Here, take this box and go your way to infernal shades and give this box to Persephone and said, My mistress Venus desires you to send her a little of your beauty, for intending her sick son, she has lost some of her own. Be not too long on your errand, for I must paint myself with it to appear in the circle of God and goddesses this evening. If you do your work well, I will speak to Cupid on your behalf.
Thank you, Aphrodite. I'm not sure how we will succeed with all the Axabels in the underworld.
Psyche was now satisfied that her destruction was at hand, being obliged to go with her own feet directly down to Erebus. Psyche knew that the only way to go to the land of the dead is to die. She believes that the shortest way to descend to the underworld is dying.
I have no other means to do. I don't know where the route is. I believe the soonest way to reach the underworld is to die. I'll do it if it means Cupid and Aphrodite's forgiveness.
Why, poor unlucky girl, do you design to put an end to your days in so dreadful a manner? And what cowardice makes you sink under this last danger, who has been miraculously supported in all the former? When Persephone has given you the box filled with her beauty of all things, this is chiefly to be observed by you, that you never once open nor look into the box, nor allow your curiosity to pry open to the treasure of the beauty of the goddesses.
Huh? You mean I can descend in the underworld dorm alive?
Ha ha ha! By all means, my lovely Psyche, I'll bring you there.
Thank you, God Hades. I'll remember your words and obey your commands.
Psyche, encouraged by this advice, obeyed it in all things, and taking heed to her ways, travelled safely to the kingdom of the dead. She was admitted to the place of Persephone. She found Persephone to be both a gracious and generous hostess.
My lovely wife, look who's with me.
Oh, the lovely Psyche, Cupid's lady love. Come and join us in this banquet and be honored to be my guest.
Thank you, but I believe I have few hours to accomplish my mission.
Wouldn't you put a lot of this plateable food in your mouth? I graciously prepared them for you.
It's indeed great pleasure for such a welcome, but I have to go.
Okay, I respect your will. Here, take this box to Aphrodite. With your great and unselfish love, I pray that the gods will reward you with your persistence.
Thank you. You will reward by your wise kindness.
Presently, the box was given to her, shut and filled with the precious commodity. Then she returned the way she came, but having got so far successfully through her dangerous task, a longing desire seized her to examine the contents of the box.
Oh, there's nothing in here. But what is this that I felt? I felt so sleepy.
So she carefully opened the box, but found nothing there of any beauty at all, but an infernal and truly Stygian sleep, which being thus set free from its prison, took possession of her, and she fell down in the midst of the road, a sleepy corpse without sense or motion. But Cupid, being now recovered from his wound, and not able to longer bear the absence of his beloved Psyche, slipping through the smallest crack of the window of his chamber, which happened to be left open, flew to the spot where Psyche lay, and gathering up the sleep from her body, closed it again in the box, and woke Psyche with a light touch of one of his arrows.
Almighty Zeus, hear me. You know how earnestly I love her. Help me to stop all her suffering. Give me some means to appease my mother's anger.
God and goddesses, hear me. Extend the extraordinary help for the poor Psyche. Hide her in the wrath of Aphrodite. Make her worthy to be an immortal. And you, Hermes, with your speed and with go forth, seek for the lovely Psyche.
I will, my God. It would be a pleasure to make two loving hearts unite.
Do not find her for Zeus, find her for me, and you will receive a great reward from this beautiful goddess. Hope you heard it right. Is this an honest thing? Is what you've done honorable to your parent? Is this the reason that you have violated and broken the commandment of your mother? You trifling boy, you varlet, without all reverence, if you cannot do your work well, I will despise some worthy servant, and kings, this bow and this arrow, you worthless, disrespectful being.
My beloved mother, love has no option to choose, nor a situation to decide. Love is such a wonderful thing. All we need is love. That's it, mother. That's what I feel for her.
Come here, we are not yet done with this pretty argument.
Settle yourself, beloved mother. I'll be back when your anger subsides, and when you can take Psyche as my wife.
In this sort, these goddesses endeavoured to pacify her mind, and to excuse Cupid with all their power, although he were absent for fear of his darts and shafts of love. But Aphrodite would in no wise assuage her heat, but thinking that they did but trifle and taunt at her injuries, she departed from them, and took her voyage towards the sea in all haste. On the other hand, Hermes had been to various places seeking for Psyche. He didn't know that Apollo had hidden her in one of her oracles in Delphi. Hermes went through the place of Psyche and asked of her abode. Hermes had seen the misery of the king and the queen and its entire people.
For how long would I seek for this girl, and I cannot find her?
Because of Apollo's great power, none ever found the lovely Psyche in her holy abode.
O God, register in the book of Moses. You all know this young man Cupid whom I nourished with my own hand. whose raging flame of his first youth. It suffices that he is defamed by his adulterous living, where all occasion are taken away by means of marriage. Let him have her still, and possess her according to his own pleasure.
O Father, marriage was made between an equal person, in the field without witnesses, and not by the consent of their parents, the marriage is illegitimate.
And you, my daughter, you are afraid to dishonor your respect. Neither have regard that this is a mortal marriage. For me it is lawful, and is legitimate by the law of Sibyl. Hermes, let Cupid in.
Yes, my lord.
Mount Olympus has been gloomy as a tomb ever since Cupid started moping over that girl. How long are you going to mourn over that Cupid?
She is not just an ordinary woman. She is a rare human indeed, mighty Zeus. Although my burn has healed, my heart still feels wounded.
Speedy Hermes, go to the rescue maiden, and you too, Cupid. Hurry and bring her in.
Yes, my lord.
In Apollo's oracle, Psyche has almost given up her hope. She never knows if she could still see her loving husband. She sat in dismay and does no other but weep.
Behold, my lovely Psyche, I bring you a great surprise.
Oh, Cupid! I almost died not seeing you!
Compose yourself, my lovely wife. Say no more. You are totally forgiven. Now come, I'll bring to my mother.
She has such great anger on me.
Hey, this is it.
There's one problem, Aphrodite. You know that an Olympian god and human be married. How can we handle this?
Lord Zeus, if Psyche is allowed to drink from the ambrosia, the nectar of gods, she too will become immortal. Let her join us as a goddess on Mount Olympus.
Hermes, give the cup of ambrosia to Psyche.
Aye.
Hold Psyche, and drink the cup of ambrosia, and that Cupid will be your everlasting husband.
By and by, the great banquet and marriage feast was sumptuously prepared. Cupid sat down with his dear spouse between his arms. Hera likewise with Zeus, Hades with Persephone, and all other gods in order.
Oh no, I was not able to finish my task, but I better finish my task. Here, my fairy's mother.
This is unbelievable. Could Persephone actually send her beauty in a box?
She and I agreed that you are the most beautiful in the universe. But Persephone is the goddess spring and sends this beauty to you.
Come, my favored daughter, and you too, my son. Let us all taste of the nectar from the cup of life.
Now you belong to me. I love you. You are mine.
It's the greatest love that I've felt. It's in here, and it's only you. I love you, my sunlight.